Asher and Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Perfect picture painted on the poster. Everyone should know her. People wanna draw her like a gun inside a holster. Maybe she should show her skin a little closer. Wriggle when I hold you.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I am very excited about our next guest because, man, just released a killer single yesterday, and I love the whole story about it and what he's about. So let's welcome to the show, Kid Bookie. How are you?
I'm wonderful, my friend, Mr. Pipeman. How are you?
I'm doing great, I gotta say right off the bat, too, I was laughing because I saw an interview that Rose and you did where you were talking about McDonald's. And I thought that was cool. So McDonald's and recording. So how did this all happen? How did this all start? Tell us the story.
I guess it's weird. I'm a big collaborator, and I'm known for sometimes pulling out things out the bag that I guess not many would do. But if they had the position, I always think they should have done it.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm making a project. I've got loads of friends on this project. And I guess I'm blessed and fortunate enough to have those types of friends. But I thought I had this idea for a record that I wanted to name genuinely just Rose McGowan. And I didn't know Rose at the time. Like I was like, I have this song. I'm putting the name Rose McGowan because it wasn't just about people making a person's name of the song for any reason or for buzzwords. We've got so many people that just put a woman's name of a song just to make that shit pop. But I was like, oh God, my bad. I was like,
that's our other guy.
Stop it. So I was like, sorry.
That's all right. That I don't know if it's a he or she, but wants to be on the show is the problem.
Yeah, clearly does. But ultimately, it was just getting like, I just wanted to make a song with someone who's like a monolith in this culture and align myself with them on the record if I could. And the alchemy brought it to fruition. So what can you do about the universe and putting out sentiments that come right back to you?
I know, man. It's so badass. And what a great song. And see, the song also brings me back to, like decades ago of how music was longer and you kind of went on a journey. And it's like you didn't even know what to expect. Like you take the old school metal, you really didn't know what to expect. You took a song like Battery by Metallica, and if you listen to it for only 10 seconds, you missed the shocker that came later, And I felt that same way about this song. I'm listening to it, and then all of a sudden, it turns into this like brutal screaming that was so badass. And I just love combining like the melody with the brutal metal and just bending all the genres to make something unique.
I think if you're not, to many, this might be their first introduction to me, especially if they are more, just fans of Rose McGowan away from music. And but this is a thesis I play with in all of my stuff. This is like pure identity. This is not, it's not hard, and it's like it's natural because I'm a student of the game. So coming into this game and studying it first and foremost, but also being able to be friends with the people that have taught me a lot of what I've known in this music industry. It's like, how can I not mix them so affluently? They're both literally genome patterns in my coding, man. Like they're like my you split my wrist, notes come out of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's what I believe. So it's like I'm the generation that grew up on such an amalgamation of sounds. It's like it's almost you're doing yourself a disservice to not pay homage to what's in you.
No doubt. And that's what I love about you. From everything I've seen, you're like just true to yourself. You don't really care what anybody thinks. You're going to be true to your own values, morals.
I began to start caring just a little bit. I'll be real with you. I had to. I went too far into the no fucks given, and I had to come back.
I know, right? Sometimes that does happen, but you know, it's still, you're still being real and you're still being you. And I think that's what's so cool about this song, because I think Rose is super cool. And the fact that you guys collaborated for something that I think it's like been 6 years since she's even written any lyrics.
Yeah, it's you know, it is. You know, sometimes I have to detach myself from like Kid Bookie, the artist, and kind of put myself back into Tyrone, the normal dude that, you know, who's just a civilian on earth, like an, you know, the orgasm that won the race. That's all I am. So like, I have to sometimes go, wait a minute, you know, where I come from in South London, I didn't know anybody. Like, there's nobody. I didn't know anybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally, it was just me and the whistle of the wind, and you know. So I guess I do sometimes when I do step back and look at the triumphs, but it's hard to sometimes count them. Like, I'm really weird. I don't like to get excited too much, because I know how quick excitement runs out. But that's because I'm experienced in my industry. Like, I've had it all and I've had nothing. So I'm like, all right, let me focus and be very well, it's not even about being humble, because humble is such a weird word, but it's humility through the sections. Like, cool, we've done this thing. You can pull this together. So you clearly you have, you know what I mean? You have your magic in you. You can pull things together. Whether or not you have to make people believe in your magic is a whole nother level of magic itself. But
yeah,
you know, to be able to bring people out of I would say their own brain, because the reality is it was her choice to not, you know, it
is being inside your own head. Exactly. And you know, I get what you're saying too, because there's Pipeman and then there's Dean. Okay. And
hello, Dean.
Even my ex-wife confuses it. Okay. Like, she'll listen to my radio show and she'll be like, she'll call one of my kids, what the fuck happened to your father? Blah, 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 blah. And then she thinks I'm like this different person. It's like, there's multiple facets of our personality, you know, and like, and I think that's the way everybody should be personally. I joke around on the show and I say I'm schizophrenic, but really it's just normal. You have different sides of you and different roles you play in your life, you know, in general.
It's every moment a mood and shade of who you are, you know, and I think that's what, I guess it's weird. And I always say I relate to the crazy. So if you are one of the crazies, I think that's why we're getting on. So, you know.
Well, they always say I attract the crazies. So
well,
I think we're on the same wavelength, okay?
We're walking a very fine line of schizophrenia. So,
right.
You know, it's and that's the thing. I'm so emboldened in my individuality, not just to serve it as this lawless go fuck yourself mantra, but knowing that a lot of people project so much upon you that you start to rewire your own brain synapses to other people's thinking, where I've had to really fight hard to trust myself more than anyone else, because people make you not trust yourself. And the only person you should trust, you need to learn to trust yourself, because you have to make decisions every day through whether they're choices of desperation, choices of happiness, sadness, whatever. You need to be very centered when you're not even centered. So, you know, learning to be, like I said, operating through all of these places and knowing who I want to be, because I have been every shade of a man I don't want to be. So I like painting from the palette of the colors I choose to be today, you know?
I love it.
And so yeah, it's nice to have people recognize that you know, that I don't even know if it's just being yourself, man. But it's like so many people are stuck. They're lost because everyone's they listen to everyone telling them how to be, but most people don't even listen to their own advice. So I don't want to tell nobody how to be. I would always just say, take what's natural to you and manipulate it for yourself.
And people can tell when you're being natural or if you're
100.
being what other people want you to be, type of thing. And, you know, I do want to clarify, because even though you have, you know, you are you and you don't give a fuck, but you do give a fuck. You just give a fuck in the right places. And that's why you have a song like this, like Rose McGowan, and actually feature Rose McGowan in it, because she's somebody that does give a fuck about a lot of things. And that tells me something about you, because you guys wouldn't be collabing unless you did give a fuck, but you give a fuck about the right things like human beings.
Oh, you know what? Like she's her own beast, you know, and I'm my own beast too. And
Exactly.
I think the I think that's what allows us to kind of get on, because you know we're not just trying to appease each other's happiness when you're not even like, when it's just like hey, you know, that's like, I don't have those relationships with anybody. So we
Nice.
are, you know, and I guess me being a very extreme character, sometimes from the jump, I always say you will know where you sit with me, and I'll probably know where I sit with you, just because, you know, we're not just a bag of bones. We are vibe and frequency. You know, we have brains for certain reasons. So, you know, it's you know, and I try not to assume. So I won't assume who you are, but with 5 minutes will allow me to create a nice picture and run with that potential picture as I stare at it. You know.
Sure.
But so Rose is, you know, we're very linear and relative in that kind of facet of just, we're very open towards each other, whether we both like it or not. But that's the power of growth, is knowing that it's not about what you both like or not. It's just about the betterment of remove ourselves from something, and what is the betterment of this thing we're doing. And you know, that's an enjoyable prospect for anyone you want to work with. Especially
I agree
Rose.
with that 1,000,000%. Just in general, like I just think I did a posting the other day, because of course, you know, all the bullshit going on in my country, and it's like, people just like, if people aren't intentionally harming other people, accept them for who they are, and you know, get to know them for who they are, and opposed to who you want them to be, you know,
The
like,
key
and
word you said was intent.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. 100%. And the fact of the matter is we all come from different backgrounds, different upbringings, different geographics, different influences, friends, variables, family, that we're all going to have different opinions about things. Maybe we could learn from each other instead of fighting with each other because we don't agree, you know? And I think people should speak their mind if they have good intentions.
Yeah.
They should speak their mind, whether you agree with them or not.
And that's the thing. I think everyone likes to know it all, right? So no one's got room to learn anything, because people think they're operating from their level of understanding and their place of thinking, that sometimes, depending on how you think, might put a guard up to you thinking how you absorb other people's thinking. I'm very open. Like, you know, the man on the street with nothing can teach me a lot. And not just because he's got nothing, but I don't even know what he's saying or what his thoughts are. But when you get into speaking is just a flow state of consciousness. And the more people become conscious when you speak, the more you start to understand about them, and the more you learn. So I'm always open to learning. Like, I guess people always said to me, like, my biggest problem in this industry is that I'm so, and maybe it is, but I'm so like, like, no matter what the presses say about me, or I'm this thing, I'm just a dude with scars on his body. Like, I'm not out here to be famous. I don't give a fuck about Hollywood. I don't care about the mannerisms I need to keep for someone to take a photo, and I don't give a fuck. I'll put my arsehole out bare on the camera and probably fart whilst doing it, you know? So don't like, and that will make the person who's trying to be the glass frame without the crack fucking fall over and shatter to 1,000 pieces. But sometimes they need that, because I hate fucking perfect shit, and I don't want to be around it. I don't want to associate with it. I enjoy the visceral nature of human beings in all of their forms. If you're a bit unhinged, then, you know, find out where it places best, and just learn your method to your chaos, or method to your madness. I'm a man who's lived in so much chaos that I found peace in it, but now it's more like, I'm not even angry like that anymore. So I'm more like, it's nice to operate from places of thinking and states of being where they are just literally from a neutral place, and I don't add any disdain, malice, or whatever. My intent is, I do my best. I try not to assume. I don't take anything personal, and blah, 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 blah. I might foul tomorrow, but as long as I keep remembering, it allows me to keep reshaping those thoughts I have to go through and paint from this palette I said I want to be, you know?
I love it. It's so true too, because like when we live in chaos, which I have too, it's like you become comfortable with it. And then it isn't until you decide not to live in that chaos that you realize how uncomfortable it was. You think you were comfortable.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. But everyone aids you. because sometimes your chaos is what's bringing their pleasure. Because
they don't want you to change. They don't want.
No.
I know people in my life, when I've made changes that were better for me, they didn't like it because it wasn't better for them.
It's unfamiliar,
right? So
and we like familiarity and patterns, and humans live in patterns. And when you break a pattern, there's no fault to jump to, because they normally jump to the next thought. Where I don't mind scattering my thoughts around and kind of reshaping what ways I need to think, because everything needs a different tandem, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird. It's not weird at all, actually. It's quite simple, but we are around people that enjoy putting complex scenarios in simple situations when all they require is sometimes yes or no.
Exactly. And all this is why you're such a true artist, because to me, the artists that last are the ones that think like you. They're not the ones looking to get rich and famous. They're not the ones looking to become a celebrity. Usually it's the exact opposite. You know, you take somebody like Kurt Cobain, he hated it. And, you know, he would have rather just sit in the hotel room and play his guitar with Courtney, you know, instead of being out there with everybody like, oh my God. And that's the true
Believe
artist.
me, dude, I get vetted every single time people want me to be on something. And I just literally like, you know, the more you've just done this to me, the more you've made my brain oppose everything you've just done. And it's like, I hate it, because it's like almost molding a shape of you to be presented to people for a wider taste. But I'm like, you don't know what they want.
Yeah.
You have no idea what people want. And you can't decide that until they're given it. Because you can hand people two forks that look exactly the same. And one might just have a small point at the top. And it's like, it's just their preference. We don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so most of the time, I've always been like, oh, Bookie, like, can you? And I'm like, no. Because every time I leave the thing that you told me I shouldn't be doing, you're sitting there going, that was amazing. And I'm like, you're so used to conventional bullshit that when you really get shit that's not bullshit, and it's just shit with no sugar on top of it, not shit-coated sugar, it's just a pile of shit. And it's just there for you to look at without having to question and put under the microscope. It's just shit. People don't know what to fucking do because they want to explain this shit. They want to explain the ridges of the edge of that fucking poo, and it's just shit. You know what I mean?
Yep. I love it. But I will say, Rose McGowan featuring Rose McGowan is definitely not shit. It's a badass song, and everybody's got to check it out. How do they connect to you on socials, on the web? How do they get the new song? Check out all your other stuff. You've also done a lot of other great collabs and some great songs with Corey Taylor. So let's share with everybody how they can connect to you, and we could make this message even bigger and stronger.
You can connect to me by just, I don't know, clicking my handle and having a gander upon the pages of the content I have to put out and the selected little writings I put on Twitter, and making a big formation of who I potentially can be. And then you can message me, and then I'll respond longer. And then you go, now I've got a little personal thing into it. And then all of a sudden, you've got a parasocial relationship. But there we go. That's where you can catch me. Or you can just find me on the streets, lingering, finding out what's going on.
There you go. Well, do you have any final words for our listeners that we haven't covered already that you want to let them know that's coming up? And of course, we didn't talk about that, your tour as well.
I am not currently got any tours in the pipeline, but when I do, they'll be announced.
Nice. So everybody connect on socials to Kid Bookie so you can see when that tour is going to happen, and so you can see all the new music and everything. And thanks a lot for, giving what I call a positive voice to the world when we need it most. And thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Then you're locked into W4CY Radio with Mr. Pipeman. It's me, Kid Bookie. Go fuck yourselves, but don't do it dangerously.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.